Hello, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Robert sends his love for those that know Robert. He's still unwell. He is gradually getting there and getting better. He had a bit more energy today. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. Obviously, when you get COVID, it hits you hard. And unfortunately, that's the situation with him. If you're in the Facebook groups or pages or wherever you're watching, just pop a hello comment in. Now, if you haven't been approved by Restream, and you don't want to, just put hello and your name in the comments so we know who so I know who's chatting to me, because I get a lot of people from all our channels watching tonight. So tonight I'm going to talk about the magic form and what we're doing with the magic form itself at the moment, and how it integrates. So we built 2 nights ago the gardening theme on one of the domain names. Tonight I'm going to show you the magic form and all the data you need to put together in the first place. So and oh, hello Lynn, how are you? See, Lynn knows what to do. She knows how to pop pop a name on the chat, you see, and then I know who it is. So tonight I'm going to go for the magic form and the data you need to put together. And I recommend get yourself a spreadsheet. You can get the Google spreadsheet for free if you don't have like Excel, or use Excel. So I'm going to share my screen now, and then tomorrow night I'm going to go into a bit more in depth of setting up the accounts as I work the way through. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, I think it's Mr. Dimmock from Florida's watching as well. Hey, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight. So let's have a look at the magic form. Let me just share my screen. And if anyone who joins late, well, I know it's a bit of short notice. Family things get in the way, and it gets super busy on this all the time. So it's super fun. Right, let me sort that out. Okay, so this is obviously the magic form. Those are already in the DFY Magic Themes members area will be aware of this. And what you need to be able to do is create yourself a company name. So, for example, DFY Magic Themes. I'll take that out there for a minute. Here we go. Go next. So you'd enter in all your address details here. Now I get asked this a lot. What do I do for an address? When you're doing lead generation sites, I recommend what you do is look for a multi-occupancy building in your area, office block that's got some empty offices on, and fill in the address top to bottom of a made up office. Now, when it comes to Google My Business, do yourselves a favor, leave the Google My Business listing alone. Don't make one for your site. Forget about it for the time being, okay? Come back to it once you've done all the other processes in this. All right. But what I do, this is my little cheat. Uh, in the towns that I know of, I will organise a Google My Business card to go through to the sorting office. So I'll put my name, full name, and a proper name. So I'll put Stephen Brocklehurst, and I'll put the sorting office address on the GMB. Then what I will do is, in my own town, I'll phone up that sorting office and say I've made a big boo boo. Some reason my auto filling thing on Google's filled in the wrong address, and it's requesting a card to you. But the problem being is I can't obviously access it. Is there any way, if I bring some idea of my name on, that you could keep that card back for me so I can then change the address on the GMB? That's one way of doing it. All right. And then you can sort of hit, and I've done that a few times myself. The other way is to ask friends and family if they're willing to have a GMB at their address. And I've done this quite a bit. And by doing that, you can say it's a service area GMB. Now, the only problem with service area GMBs, they still rank, but not as well as one with an address. If you've got a friend or family member, or someone runs a local business where they're willing to accept a card to that address, because if you're running, like, I don't know, if you're going to be a plumber, and someone knocks on that office door and I'm looking for JB Plumbing, all they got to do is say, they've recently just moved. Give them a call. As long as you are honest in the small print at the bottom of your site that you are a lead generation site in some way, we will connect you with the best local businesses or something like that, then you'll probably be okay there. That's what I would say. So there's a few ways of doing GMBs, but my other recommendation is don't do. People focus too much on Google My Business. Leave it alone for the time being. Okay, do your citations, which we'll come on to a later training. But first of all, we come back to the address. So you'd fill all of this in of an office block, or the other thing you can use is a virtual address. There may be one out there, but like I said, I've also used other businesses. I've gone to a business of someone who I know who's running their own business. I say, look, I need a GMB in your area. Any chance I can have one sent to your address? I'll give you a little, 50 quid for receiving it or something. Just so I've got a GMB location. You could put their full address in there afterwards. You could put Suite 1 at their address and fill it in. So but do the GMBs last, because what will happen with GMBs, if you just go and do a GMB first, they do get taken down. So I found when you're building a niche website that's going to generate you leads, make sure that you do the GMB last and you do all your citations, even maybe stick an advert in a local paper or something, but more so for Google AI, because it's all AI now, all special Google stuff going in and looking at your business. So, another example, if you're looking for a plumber and you search on Google and a listing comes up with no reviews, they haven't got a website, but they have got a GMB listing, would you trust that yourself? I wouldn't. I'd look for one that's got a website, find out more about them. I want to know if they're on other directory sites. So I might go and check Yale. You do a little bit of research. What reviews have they got? And so that's my advice: is don't do the GMB, don't do the Bing version. Leave those well alone, and get a local market presence for your business in your area. Something else that I was talking to someone one day about was they wanted to build a national site in the USA, so every state. And I said, well, that's all very well, but you're trying to run before you can walk. Now, what do you mean by that? I said, build a site in your location. If your location that you're at is very small, like you're in a village, find the nearest big town to you and set up your business there. So you are marketing to a good area from that town. In Somerset, where I live, I'm in a small market town. We have Taunton, Yeovil, and a few other little towns dotted around. So I would aim to do sites for a single site for Taunton, one for Yeovil, one for Crewcombe, where I'm based, one for Ilminster. There's a whole load of towns I'd build sites up for, clone them all across, but set up their location based on those areas. Maybe change the images out a bit, tweak a few bits and pieces on the site to make them a little bit more unique. Once you've done that, then you can come back to this form. And what this form is now doing, obviously we've got an address, I've gone over that. The next part is to enter your niche. In this case, it's gardener. And in here, we'd have gardening. And we click next. Your website URL, let's go and find that now. Copy this, come back, put your website URL in there. I haven't got GMB set up yet, so you'd leave it blank for the moment. We can come back and we can refill this in again. Years in business now. It's very difficult to put your years in business if you haven't been running, but you could quite easily put 2 years. This info, by the way, doesn't show up on your physical website. This is the part of the schema, so you don't have to worry so much. Operation hours, so you could put 8 a.m. You look better like that. 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday to Next, the lead capture forms. With our DFY themes, we include a lead capture form. So what you can do in here, if we come in, if I get into WP admin a minute, and what I will do briefly is stop sharing my screen in case it shows any passwords up. I've done that before by mistake. So while this is loading in, I'm going to go and find out the right area, except I've completely forgotten my login. That might take me, let's see if I've got the other one in here. Triangle. There we go. No. Always pays to know your logins. Okay. I'll come back to the forms on another session. Share my screen again because I've completely forgotten the login. It'll take me 10 minutes to get log in via the back door. So you'd enter in a short code, or if you have like a product like Lead Simplify, you can put your lead form in there. If you have your own lead magnet forms, then you put the HTML code in here. This one here is questions. So you'd ask them like, are you looking, how soon are you looking for a gardener? This week, next week, the week after. The following question would be, what are you looking to have done? Garden, mowed, or tree being trimmed, or something like that. And a bunch of questions you can ask them, which then come in onto your form. Our forms with DFY Magic themes, by the way, if I just come back to the front end, the forms themselves, let me see if I've got this active on here yet. This form. This comes in on the admin email in WordPress. So what you can do, if you get a lead buyer filling this in, and you've got a company who's renting one of these sites from you, you can forward this to the number of companies you want. So every lead that comes in here goes bam, straight the way through to that person, which I think is really good. Lead Simplify, which we also recommend, has a lot more features on it, because what it does when they fill it in, it loads into Lead Simplify, right? And then the customer has a login, and they go in and they say, I'll buy that lead that's come in. So Lead Simplify can do far more, but for those that are starting out, you may want to use the built-in forms and maybe a mobile number that you can just answer the calls on, and say, I'll get someone to call you back, fill in the form, that gets forwarded by email to the person concerned. So, and these sites have, like I said, I've got all their content included already, and including the magic page, which is the keyword times location page. So if we come back now to here, you put your lead code, capture code in here. Now, if you've got a video, and part of setting this up, I recommend you set up a YouTube channel. We'll go into that. If we go to YouTube, I'm just going to go and grab a video. Now, this is a little tip for you. If you want a video, let's just say, now I'd recommend you do your own promo videos, but let's just say I wanted to use this video here. We're going to go down to share, copy the embed code. That's fine. Copy. Now we're going to come back to the magic form. I'm going to put the embed code in here and click next. And then these are the social media channels which I'm going to go over the next few days, one at a time, where we'll go into setting these up. So you're going to want your Facebook page URL. You want to enter in Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and LinkedIn. These are the ones we've included already on the page. And as you look down here, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and also Instagram. So these are the ones you want to go creating. So if I come over to Facebook, I'm going to be going through next week how I create all my banners for my pages. But we come into Facebook, and on your own URL, you've got a section called Pages, and then you come in here, you can create a new page. So now we can create this page accordingly. So up here we put free and modern. Agree. Let's try and type in partner. Now, description is going to be a bit of information about the company and where you're based. So I would put we are local local landscape gardeners for return and that pass to you can always come back and edit this. I would add in the future a phone number in here as well. Let's create the page for now. And there's obviously you can add more categories as you go along. All right. This will take a moment or two to be created. Go, and we can add a profile picture and a cover picture. So the profile picture ends up here, the cover picture ends up here, and in a feature training session, I'm going to show you how I create my headers. So we're just going to click save for now. Give it a moment or two. Facebook always seems to run a little bit slow. It'll ask to confirm, send code. Let's go and check. Enter this in. There we go. Add a WhatsApp button. I don't personally do this. You can if you want, but I personally don't. So we'll skip it for now. Post with a WhatsApp button. Create a post that directs to WhatsApp. Maybe later. Want to create an ad? No, thank you. So I'll X off this, and we come up to the page. And we're ready to go. What we're going to do is add some information in here. Now, if I scroll down, we should be able to go to settings. And in here, let's have a look at page visibility, visitor posts. I'm just checking, making sure that everything's out. We'll turn on the filter to stop any bad words. Page updates, translate, download, that's fine. So I'm all happy with the settings on there. So now we can come back to the home tab, and then we come back into see more pages. And this will show all your pages in here. And we just got to find the one that says tree and garden. There it is. No, on that at the moment. Thank you. And so this is tree and garden, and we're all ready to roll with this and promote it now. At the top here is your URL. And we can copy this. Don't need the front part. You just need this bit up to the numbers. And now we come back to here, and we'll enter in the URL. Right now, for now, I'm going to say finish. I'll come back and go through these on other nights. And the first thing I want to do is save the magic form so I can come back and re-edit this. So I hit the save button up here and just save the magic form. And if you come back to this form at a later date, you can click on here and load this very form so you can carry on editing it. It means you can do more than one form from more than one site. And then this file here is the file we're going to download for the magic page. And as you can see, this is automatically opened up in the editor. But you go and find the magic page.txt file, and away we go. Let's stop that sharing for now. There we go. So at that point, that is now ready to upload to the site. I'm not going to do it yet because I want to go through over the coming days how I set up, first of all, Facebook, and probably it'll be the start of next week. I'll start going through all the images and how I create the branding of my site for all my social media channels, and we'll go through what products I use for that. We'll brand up Facebook first, because if you brand Facebook first, you can then use the same images to go into YouTube and all the other accounts that you want to brand up and set up properly. So that's why tonight, I don't want to keep it simple. I wanted to show you the magic form up to the point that we fill most of the data in. And that form as it is, obviously if I finish filling in some of the bits and pieces, I can upload it straight to the site and it'll include that data on the site ready to roll. So if there's any questions, pop them into the chat. But I wanted to keep it super simple. The idea of these lives that we're doing for you guys is just to show you steps. So look for the other videos in the group or on YouTube where I've gone through for you guys how we initially install the Tree and Garden site. Tonight we're showing you the magic form in the members area of DFY Magic Themes, and then the final part is going to be moving on to finishing off your social media channels. By the way, social media channels become types of citations as well, and we'll go into that as well. So this is super exciting. And then we'll set up the main citations. I'll show you how I find citations, and I'm going to build this local site up for Crewkern, Tree and Garden, and we're going to see how it's going to rank with all the products I use. So now what I am going to do is say goodnight to a lot of the destinations apart from the Inner Circle group, where I want to have a chat with you guys in the Inner Circle group. So if you just literally joined in one of the other groups, hello, watch the replay. It'll be live in the groups or on YouTube accordingly. But I've got a little message for people inside the Inner Circle only. So if you're an Inner Circle member, jump over. If you're not, go to dfymagicthemes.com/live, number 4, and that'll take you to the right place. That's dfymagicthemes.com/live, number 4, just the letter U. And that takes you through to where you can sign up for the Inner Circle. But I'm now going to say good night to people in the on the other channels, and I'm going to play a quick little video, and I'll be back very, very shortly once I've said good night to them.